"So, you thought your acid reflux was just innocent annoyance?" my doctor asked. Then, looking me straight in the eyes, he added, "You were dead wrong." I wasn't sure if the pun was intended. My wife's shivering hands squeezed mine as tears ran down her chin. "Don't worry. We'll get through this," she sobbed, maybe more to convince herself than me. Frozen with fear, I couldn't speak. Only one thought circled through my mind: I'm too young to die. You don't anticipate this kind of shock when seeking medical advice for acid reflux, do you? Yes, heartburn makes your life miserable. It robs you of sleep, ruins your meals, and embarrasses you with burp and gas outbursts in the worst places. At worst, you fear ulcer, which is, of course, horrible. But death, you don't expect that. If you frequently suffer heartburn, you should, however, prepare for the worst. I tell you why. Not being able to sleep that night, I googled the health risks of acid reflux. What I found was terrifying. Recent studies prove that acid reflux is the #1 cause of not just 1 or 2, but 6 types of fatal cancers, 4. And we're talking strong connection. Heartburn increases your risk of cancer in the larynx by 286%, cancer in the hypopharynx by 254%, cancer in the oropharynx by 247%, cancer in the tonsils by 214%, cancer in the nasopharynx by 204%, cancer in the sinuses by 140%. Sum it all up, and you're 1,345% more likely to get one of these 6 cancers than does a person who doesn't suffer heartburn. 1,345%. That's a lot. Acid reflux is more dangerous than smoking. The researchers concluded. Millions of people die every year because they don't take their heartburn seriously enough. And there I was, ready to be another name on a grave. It wasn't my fault, really. If you are interested, please click on the link below the video to watch the full content. I'll explain in a second how I finally got rid of my acid reflux using a simple home remedy that takes only 4 or 5 minutes to make. You most likely have all the ingredients sitting in your kitchen. So, if you want, you should be able to take the first sip within 10 minutes from now. Had I known about this remedy before, I would not have received the dire news that day. But with what I knew then, I couldn't have done much differently. Like most people suffering heartburn, I was loading up on proton pump inhibitors (PPI) medications thinking they were safe. Well, they are not. According to a study from Washington University in St. Louis, PPI drugs increase your risk of dying within a year by a terrifying 50%. Another study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, proved that PPI pills drastically increase your risk of stroke. And, in a new study from the University of Hong Kong and University College London published in the peer-reviewed journal Gut-6, these same drugs were found to double your risk of stomach cancer. Maybe worst of all, they also double your risk of kidney disease. Hey, I can live with stomach ulcers, but I can't live without my kidneys or stomach. Other heartburn medications, such as antacids and H2 blockers, such as Tums and Zantac, may or may not be a little bit safer. However, numerous studies have also found a row of life-threatening side effects from these drugs. Putting it bluntly, it's a matter of life and death that you naturally address your acid reflux immediately today. Don't put it off another day. Plus, these drugs cost a fortune. When my insurance company stopped copaying for my medication a few years back, I had to shuffle out over $5,000 a year for heartburn prescriptions. Even after I turned to cheaper over-the-counter PPIs, I was still paying close to $2,000 a year for drugs that were actually murdering me. Okay, finally, some good news. Additional testing luckily revealed that my cancer diagnosis was a false alarm, false positive, they called it. At that point, however, I was informed enough to realize I had gotten a second chance at life. But it wouldn't last long unless I cured my acid reflux as soon as possible. PPI and other heartburn medications only temporarily mask the symptoms. They do not cure your acid reflux or GERD. Therefore, they do nothing to protect you from dying from cancer and other causes. In fact, they drastically increase your risk of dying. So, I knew I had to handle my acid reflux naturally. Which is easier said than done. The internet is full of well-meaning tips for acid reflux. I'm sure you've tried everything from baking soda to just carrying around Tums everywhere you go. When other common wisdom, such as sleeping sitting up, not eating spicy food, and avoiding sugar, chocolates, and tomato sauce, is to no avail, you are running out of options, aren't you? So, you get what I was facing. Finally, my luck changed when a friend referred me to a man named Scott Davis. Scott is somewhat of a legend in the natural health research field. He has come up with solutions for numerous health issues the traditional medical system has no answer for. If you are interested, please click on the link below the video to watch the full content.